The search for inner peace is endless, isn't it? I mean, we have all kinds of supplements that are offering the pathway to inner peace. We have religions and spiritual groups that are offering the pathway to inner peace. We have workshops that are offering the pathways to inner peace. We have coaches, therapists, counselors offering the path to inner peace. But there's one trait that if you really started focusing on today in your own life only, could have one of the greatest impacts on bringing more inner peace into your life than you could ever imagine. There's a trait that most of us struggle with. There's a trait that most of us don't put any time into changing, unfortunately, because the benefits it would offer if we would do this one thing I'm going to share with you would be incredible. I'm David Essel, and this is a trait that I have to work on every day. This is not a trait that I have mastered by any means. Have I come close? Sure. Have I held the line for 30, 60, 90 days? Yes. Then do I kind of lose this trait at times? Absolutely 100% yes. I'm not perfect, but I'm aware when I lose this trait that I'm going to be sharing with you. I'm aware when I'm not practicing it, how my life can start to become so much more stressful, so much more filled with chaos. What am I talking about? What is this one special trait that everyone could benefit from working harder on? And it's called patience with ourselves. Are you like me? Do sometimes you just get so impatient with yourself? You go, oh my God, David, why'd you do this? How come you're not making more money? How come this hasn't happened yet? How come you put all this time in? You know, why do you have to rush in traffic, David? Why do you have to get so freaked out the night before you're going on a plane trip where you're packing and repacking and doing all these kind of things? Why don't you slow down, David, and have more patience for yourself? How about you? What areas of life, and this would be a great little exercise to do right now, what areas of life do you need to have more patience for yourself with? Do you always turn up to places late? Let's have some patience. Let's sit down. Let's write out a plan where that you can be on time at your next appointment. That would be a great use of time and effort. And it would tell yourself, hey, listen, I haven't mastered this yet. I have to be patient with myself. I may have to come up with a 3-step process in order to be prepared to leave the house early enough to get to these meetings on time. So I'm going to be patient with myself. It may take a couple of weeks to get into the habit, but at least I have a plan. See, that's being patient, right? What about in traffic? Gosh, I have so many clients, both men and women, that'll come to me and say, you know, I'm a road rager. I get into all kinds of trouble. I just got a major speeding ticket, blah, 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 you know. And so the very first thing I say is, well, how can you be more patient with yourself? It's not the traffic you have to worry about. It's you. And don't say that, well, I'm not patient because there's too much traffic. Hey, there's too much traffic. That's out of your control. What is it about you that you need to change in order to be more patient in traffic? Gosh, I've got so many incredible stories about road ragers that I've worked with that ended up blessing drivers in front of them that were driving slower than they wanted, bowing to drivers that had just cut them off instead of flipping the finger. They switched their mindset and they became more patient with themselves. And all of a sudden, and I can remember this one gentleman, he was a salesman. He was on the road constantly, and his daughter would not ride with him anymore. And then he worked with me, and finally she said, oh my God, you've changed, when she sees him bowing to cars in front of him that are going 40 miles an hour in a 45 mile an hour speed limit, where he used to go nuts, and now he's, oh yeah. And how about just breaking that silence and saying, okay, I'm running late again. Let me take a big breath. When I get home, I'm going to go ahead and create that plan to get to bed earlier, to get organized earlier, to do whatever I have to do. Yeah, I missed the gym this week. I said I was going to go 3 times. Let me take a big breath. I'm going to have patience with myself here. Let me write out a plan. Let me find an accountability partner. Let me get someone who will join me at the gym. That will increase my ability. And I have to be patient. I haven't been in the gym in 30 years, you know. What about sobriety? Gosh, I've been drinking for 10 years, 20 years, 40 years. You know, I've been smoking for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. I've been doing drugs, whatever it might be. I've been scrolling social media hours a day, arguing with people. I have all these. Let's be patient with ourselves. You know, and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to start in the morning by waiting until 9 a.m. to get on social media, or I'm going to start waiting until noon. You know, so I'm going to be patient with myself. I know there's going to be withdrawal from watching the news, from getting off of social media. So I'm going to go slowly. I'm going to write down a plan. I'm going to be patient with myself and prove it by putting a plan in writing of how I'm going to change this habit of being late, of this addiction, of not having confidence in myself, not having self-esteem. I'm going to be patient as I rebuild my confidence and self-esteem. Patience is a beautiful trait that many of us were not gifted with. I was not gifted with patience at all, but I'm learning over the years how to work with it more closely, how to embrace it. And when I embrace patience and I'm more patient with myself, I find my world to be a lot easier. I'm offering anyone who desires a free 20-minute session on the phone right now because the world is just so crazy. Whether it's this topic or any other topic that you'd like help with, just go to our website, talkdavid.com, davidessel.com. Send us an email. My team will set up the free call ASAP. And also don't forget, at the same website, 5 of our top 16 best-selling books, absolutely free. Grab all 5 right now, no cost, at one of the websites below. Be patient with yourself. Do a little bit every day, much better than doing nothing. I had a client, the final story just popped in my head, that I had given a book to read. And I said, listen, every week, let's go over a chapter. We'll break it down and see what you picked up and what you may have missed. And she came every week and had never read a chapter. Finally, I said, okay, 5 pages a day. Have patience with yourself. That's all she needed, was a plan. And she gave herself the patience. She read 5 pages a day, and over the course of a couple of weeks, it would turn into 15 or 20 pages. She started to get into it, but she started patiently. I want the same for you. If I can help, reach out. Have a beautiful day.